Today, we discover and reveal the top 16 players to compete for the grand prize of 1,000 plus USD. It is a $900 prize pool for the main bracket and a $100 prize pool for the lower bracket here. And we reveal the players in no particular order. If you finished first in your division or finished second in your division, it means you would be playing someone who finished second in their division or first in the division in a sort of whatever you call it, like this. You know, you do these ones. So, first player through, we have Rappel versus Kavoth. The Odin main against the Gaia main. Going to be an absolute fireworks match. This is one of the most stacked brackets I've seen in a very, very long time. I'm very excited to see these guys going at it. Rappel versus Kavoth. Feel free to drop predictions in or however you want to do it. We've got the second match. Well, I mean, we can just talk a little bit about what happened. Like, I don't know how else to say it. Both these guys winning a lot of really, really good games in their brackets. We've got I Am Momo. I think he was in the Hermes division, and Miracle Man here. I can't remember which divisions everyone was from, to be honest. But again, another incredibly strong pair of players, with Momo being, I believe, a Hades main and Miracle Man being I'm going to make this wrong. I think he's an Atlantean player who also plays the Greeks at a fairly high level. So that's going to be a really, really fireworks match. I love the Greek versus Atlantean matchup. I think it's incredibly fun. And now we've got Tiger Boss versus Ulysses. This is another every single one of these matches is absolutely insane, if we're completely honest. Tiger Boss here, and kind of up and coming, or even up and came, if you think about it this way, Uranos player who also plays a mean Gaia and Kronos as well. I don't know what he's like on his off civs, but in the first round here, it is only best of 5, which means you only have to really be able to play 3 gods to get through. So Tiger Boss is going to be able to continue through this tournament without having to reveal his off civs until if he gets to the semifinals. So Tiger Boss, Kronos, Gaia, Uranos. Ulysses, on the other hand, is a multi-god talent who plays every single god at a very high level. I see him play everything, but definitely more on the realms of a Zeus or Uranos player. But like I say, he can play everything, and I'm excited to see what he's going to bring in this tournament. Also, the winner of the Masters of Mythology tournament, so has some very big tournament experience as well. We've got Grand Monster versus Yoshi. Grand Monster, better known as Odin, and Yoshi, also bird is the word, birdo. We have in this round, this one's going to be a cracker of a match. They're both Norse mains, which makes me a little bit sad. I like seeing the Norse mains going up against Greek or Egyptian or Atlantean mains mostly, but this is the way the cookie crumbles. This is how you know that I didn't do anything. I didn't have any real influence over these brackets. The effective way that I did it was if you came first, you went into a thing. If you came second, you went into a thing, and then randomize, and then in. So that's literally how it went. And then we've got Hagrid versus Grassengroom. Both these guys, I think, are EE players. So the EE players get to duke it out. So they might know each other's playstyle pretty well here. Hagrid being a random god talent. He plays every god at a high level and is possibly one of the most solid players in recent days, in recent months, playing a lot of the meta plays tournaments, getting very high placings in those tournaments and just being super solid in all of them. We've got Grassengroom as well, recent top 20 player, just showing up, putting in the work, getting really, really strong. You see him playing as Uranos and Zeus in the group stage, so I wonder if he's going to, if he wants to win the best of 5, he's going to have to show something else off. So I wonder what he's going to pick there. And now we've probably got my highlight for, actually, every single one of these games is a highlight, but my highlight for the first round of the tournament is going to be Shadowfax versus Chemo. An insane matchup here for the first round. Shadowfax, one of the strongest EE players, and also one of the strongest Titan players, and arguably the best vanilla player, up against Chemo, who is arguably the best Titans player if he's on form. So we'll see how he's going to go in this first match, best of 5. Shadowfax can play any god, Chemo can play any god. There is no way to predict what your opponent's going to play, so there's no real way to counter civ. So this is going to be a light. I mean, we're definitely going to see Chemo play Ra at least once in this best of 5. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Ranos from Chemo as well, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Shadowfax pick an Odin here and or Thor, but other than that, they can play anything. And then we've got another absolute fireworks match here, Joe versus Soup. I'm excited for this one. Going to see Joe using Anubites. We're going to see Soup losing more hair that he doesn't have against said Anubites and trying to overcome that adversity. But, you know, there's only really 2 civilizations that use Anubites. So you just have to keep on keeping on until you break through that. And then we'll see how he's going to do, if he's got any options to get through Joe. And he can play Odin for Loki, but I know Soup can play other gods. He definitely has a mean Ra going for some very unorthodox Ra strategies. And we go on to the final matchup here, Nellis versus Shelty. If it wasn't for Shadowfax versus Chemo, I would be like Nellis versus Shelty. It's my number 2 match. I'm excited about this one because Nellis is a monster and Shelty is a dark horse if I've ever seen one. Shelty's still kind of unrusting from the first week. He's had 1 week where he's kind of been back playing and he's unrusting, and I'm excited to see if he's kind of got the level back in order to kind of try and take out a top player like Nellis here, or if it's just going to be a sad state of affairs. It doesn't matter. It's going to be interesting to see how it's going to go. Definitely let me know in the comments or wherever who you think is going to win this one. But as we continue, we've actually got the lower bracket to show off here, as well as you thought it was all over. We do have the lower bracket. The lower bracket is subject to change, as a lot of the times when you do host these kind of like consolation prizes, in a way, people choose not to play. However, we'll see how it's going to go. There is $100 on the line in this tournament, so we do have more here. More as a bit of a sub for the first tournament. Didn't quite get the games played to get into the top 2 of his group. Going to be going up against Revan, who we had an incredibly strong performance. Definitely almost made it into the top bracket as well. So very, very close. It's going to be a really, really interesting series. We've got Joey Bads versus Brickhead next. Going to be a good series. I'm excited to see Brickhead going deep in this tournament. No Atlantis versus Tark here as well. A very, very close matchup here in terms of skill. Chrono JJ versus Killuminati. The Ra mains duking it out in the early stages of the tournament. Got Wiz Sanji versus Is Just Jeff. Wiz Sanji probably one of the favorites to actually win this consolation bracket. I've seen him duking it out with Nellis and having some very, very good games against Nellis. Jeff also almost getting out of his own group, almost taking games off whoever he played. And we've got Akor here as well. If you remember, he had an incredibly good game against Duck Nugget there back in the early stages of the group stage. Gabu, Albert Wesker as well here. We got the Loki mains unfortunately getting tied up. This is a completely random bracket. No, it's completely random seeds, so you can't blame me on that one. So Gabu versus Albert Wesker in the first round there. We'll see. We might see the Loki versus Loki, or we might see an attempt at doing something else because it is a bit of a coin flip matchup. Joker Dem versus Bugman Dan. Bugman Dan going to be going up against Joker Dem. We'll see how that game's going to go. And then Shalky versus Duck Nugget at the end. If you guys are excited about this tournament, let me know. Hit a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one.